what's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is I, James. RedoptionAgency.com, urban-picker.com. 24 years selling full-time on eBay. And it's Friday, right? I think. Look at your other phone, James. It does. Yes, Friday. So, I forgot to note what the average went down to yesterday. But what I did do is went back to last year and got my average sold per day. I figured that's a good way to kind of match it up to make sure my numbers are going up, right? If I'm listing more, my numbers should be going up, right? So last year, my average per day was $785. So we were, for January and February, we were 807, I think, somewhere in there. So that's definitely up. Let me see where we're at now, because the goal is obviously to get $1,000 per day by June. And that would be up, $215 per day from last year. I think that would be pretty good, right? Because that $215 per day times 365 is almost an extra $80,000 a year. So I think that's a pretty decent goal. Let's see where we are now. I think yesterday was at least up over the day before. I kind of want to see what yesterday's numbers were first. So I decided also to throw something else into my loop. Being yesterday on store 2, I only did $55. That is the third-ish, fourth-ish lowest, I guess, in the last 31 days. So what I decided to start doing, and I'm going to do it on the weekends so it doesn't mess up the day. So today I'll do a couple, and then tomorrow I'll do a couple, and that is pull items from one of the other spaces, pull the stuff out of the box, whatever it is stored in this storage space. Then take the pictures, run it through List Easier, put it back in the space. And then I'm going to have to take some items out of the space to organize it, obviously. So I think I'm going to do a 1-for-1. I pull one out, and then it comes down here. List it, it comes into these boxes. And then one box goes back in. Take one out. So I would do a total of 4 on a Friday, maybe 4 on a Saturday. And just slowly, it shouldn't hamper anything. And then, but it's slowly getting that project done also on top of this project. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I should squeeze in 4 containers today, whatever they're stored in. 2 of them will be set up to come down here. 2 of them will be set up to go back into that room. And then by the time I get through the room, it should be only half the product. It should all be listed. Then I just get the shelving and organize it better. So the only downfall is when something sells, I might have to move totes to get to a tote. So, but that's the price of business when you got so much stuff. So I can't be, necessarily nitpicking. I've got to just put my head down and do the work. So I'm going to do that today, start on that today. So, and like right now, I know what I'm listing. I'm going through the Marcus collection, which I do have one item from the Marcus collection. And then whatever's in the office. So I pretty much know what I'm listing. This is kind of like a little surprise on the weekends. I don't know what's going to be in the box. So it'd be like, woohoo, it'd be like Christmas. And maybe I'll turn that into weekend videos also. So I'll schedule those out for the weekend since I don't really do much on the weekend. So there'll be kind of a what's in the box, what's in storage videos for you on the weekends. And then also what I might do on the weekends is schedule out a bunch of shorts. I scheduled a bunch of shorts last night. So then I might take one of the videos I've done this week, put it through Opus Clip, and schedule out a bunch of shorts for the weekend also. So I think if I throw that in, that'll help anything on this channel when it comes to subscribes and maybe viewer counts and stuff like that without throwing too much time into it. And then the videos would be kind of a, a lot of you guys have been asking for storage videos, so that'll kind of play into that for you guys. So we got 55.40 from yesterday. Today we're at $18 on this store. Oops, let's go over here. I need to open up more windows over here. How do you open up more windows without a mouse? There we go. Open up. New tab. Okay. There we go. Come on. Wake up, computer. Still haven't come down and cleaned this computer out yet. Now we're just stuck. We are stuck. There we go. Caught in a trap. And I don't want to share my thoughts on something. Just get me to where I want to go. On my eBay summary. I'm not trying to get to summary. I'm trying to get to selling. I never use summary. Okay. Boom. 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 This morning we're only at $40 on store one. So we're right at $60 at 9 a.m. So again, another slow start to the day. Let's see what yesterday did. Right here. Because I think I had some on the international websites. Yeah, about $30. So plus 709.73. So only 765.13 yesterday. And with this new throw-in, those items I'm pulling out of that room that are going to be staged for down here, they're going in store one. But the totes I put back into that room are going to go into store two. So then this way also I can start feeding stuff back into store two and hopefully bring those numbers up again. And that stuff will be done with AI through List Easier, so I won't have to end it in Sold Similar. That'll be their permanent home. And I'm not going to worry about what it is. If it's like before, one was a media store, one was the clothing store. They're both going to be everything stores now. So if I pull out a box of CDs and that box of CDs is going back in that room, then they're going in store two. At this point, I might make a conscious effort, though. If I've got a box of stuff and a box of CDs right there, then I put the CDs into store one to come down here and put the stuff into store. So I'll probably make a conscious effort right now as I'm getting started with the project. But over time, everything's going to be everything in both stores. So just be store 1 and store 2. All right, so let's see where our daily average is for March. The 1st through the 5th. All righty. So after yesterday's way down day in store 2, we're officially down now. 623.64, down 4.2% over here. Yeah, okay, I was making sure I was doing the right numbers. And then store 1, $3,492.89, up 10.4%. So $4,117 divided by 5. So we're 823 is our daily average right now. And I've already forgot what last year's was. 785. 785. Okay. So the top 5 for the month so far. Number 5 is video games. Nope. Yeah. Video games at 106, up 51%. Number 4, vinyl records, 136, down 16%. Hats, number 3, 583, up 29%. Cassettes, number 2, at 686, that's up 15%. And CDs, $1,288, up 39%. So vinyl is the only one down right now, but that's, I haven't listed any new vinyl. I do have some staged, got pictures for, so maybe I'll run those through today and get the last of my vinyl that I have in stock right now listed. And then DVDs and Blu-rays dropped down to the honorable mention at 104, up 5.6%. Okay, so 823. All right. Well, I don't really have a topic, so let's just start shipping and see what comes to mind. So I only got 3 going out in the store 2. And if you don't know, store 2's only about, what are we now? 2 years old? Somewhere in there, I don't know. And then the other store is going to be 25 years old soon. So that will be August. All right. We've got this J105 hat. Nice distressed going on there. Sold for $10.50. Headed to Kannapolis, North Carolina. Kannapolis. Never heard of that one. Bruce. Next up, we've got the little ducky. Sold for $5. Headed to Hayworth, Illinois. Hayworth, Illinois. And David. Yeah, I think getting in that room will do things, get that project started, obviously. And then the way the two stores act different, who's to say that, you know, on days that we've seen it in my past videos. Store 2 has obviously got the issues right now, and store 1 has a lot less of the issues. So who's to say on a day when store 1's having some issues, store 2 won't make up for it? Because we've seen it in the past in my videos where that's kind of happened. So it can't hurt. So I might as well go. Just throw in another project on top of my projects. But that's all right. Got to get them done. And I'm only one person. So it's probably the smart way to do it so I don't get burnt out on doing any projects. Because I can just shift. Like yesterday I did a little media and then I went back to the hats. So I'm trying to concentrate more on the hats and the clothing now, just because, you know, they're higher dollar. The goal is to get that daily average up. But if I start getting burnt out and see myself slowing down on the hats, then I can jump on the media, get a row of the media done. So this is a way to, on the weekends, to do something different, throw something different into the mix, grab a surprise box, and let's see what's in it. So, and then again, that will not just help me and motivation and the project, but may help YouTube and give you guys something different to look at on the weekends. And then hopefully by summer, I can go to yard sales and get some yard sales videos back into play also. We got this Big A Auto Parts hat, sold for $8, headed to Des Moines, Iowa. So I'm trying to do everything kind of strategically now, without ruining a project. So, but as you've seen me try stuff, you know, if something disappears, it's just not working for me. And I don't want to mess up what's already set in stone to do. So, like these videos, the reaction video and the project, and working toward the goal. So those are the set in stones. I think I know what video I want to do today, and it's a longer video. So I may break it up into two. It's Friday. You know, I can take a little bit long. On Friday and Saturdays, I like to do what I want to do. So if I take an hour break to do a video, I do what I want to do on Friday and Saturday. So I might break it up into two videos, and we'll do one today, and then maybe I'll schedule the one out for Monday, the other half of it. Because I kind of watched it already. Well, parts of it already. I haven't watched the whole thing through. And it wasn't really watching it. I was kind of working while I was playing and wasn't really paying too close attention. So I wasn't able to really pick up on anything that might help me or evaluate what's being done on video. So if I sit down and only pay attention to the video, it would allow me to do that. So seller hub. No, I need a scan form. Yeah, I think yesterday I only had 2 sales on this store all day. That was pretty lame. That was very lame. So hopefully getting some stuff in there. And then again, what's in the storage? I have no clue. So what items I put in there may be something that's going to move fast, high dollar, and really help that store out. So if I just set that rule that that is going in that store, then I don't have to, well, I'm putting this one in store one because it's acting better and I know it'll sell faster here type of thing. Nope, just put it in store two and wait it out. If there is a wait time, which there seems to be, or did seem to be anyway. We'll see. We'll see. So we'll play with that on the weekends. So over here, I've got 29 orders going out. We'll do some CDs first. That one's bigger, so put that one aside. Little Texas, first time for everything CD. Sold for $5. Got this Warcraft for the PC. That sold for $5. Ready to go. That's got to go ground, so that's going to be 4. Rufus Wainwright CD. Boom here. That sold for $5. Classical Brass. Boom. CD. Another $5. I did notice finally some higher dollar CDs selling. I think they're at the bottom. After I talked about it on video, then I saw a few sell. There's got to be some voodoo to that, right? You touch something or you wonder why it hasn't sold or why something hasn't sold out of that area, then boom, it sells. And I'm not the only one for sure on that. I don't have the name memorized. I jumped into a live yesterday and what's her name? Damn it. I know her name. And I just caught part, I guess, when I clicked in, she was just ending the statement that she had touched something and it sold. And so that rang in my head, like ding, 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 ding. It happens so freaking much. It's just crazy. Eye Swinger Combustible Edison CD. Sold for $5. There's got to be some voodoo to that. Oh, that would be awesome. That's going to be my theme of my thumbnail, voodoo. I got to remember that. See what AI can do with that. I'm going to tell AI to make my thumbnail voodoo themed. That would be awesome. I don't want to waste that kind of paper. And if I don't write it down, I know I'll forget it. I guess I'll waste that kind of paper. I'll just tear a piece off and I'll leave the rest for next time I have a thought. Voodoo theme. I gotta come up with a creative title. This next CD, I finally sold one. I don't think I've ever sold any of these. This is one of those CDs where I picked up 75 of them at the bins, sealed, something that nobody's probably ever heard of. And one's finally sold, and that was probably 10 years ago. But sold for $10. It's Sonic Reducer is the name of the band. All right, next up, John Denver. Best of, $5. $5. Adrian's working from home today, so what do I want for lunch? I've been getting Chipotle a lot, but I think I want something a little different today. I don't know what, though. If I can't figure it out, I just go with Chipotle. Nice, safe steak tacos and be done with it. We've got Best of Rock 8-track tape, sold for $5. It's already 57 degrees outside. Nice. If that holds, I'm going to see if that holds through, and then I'll do a little walk, start getting my cardio in now. Do a little walk, light jog tonight. Disney's A Lullaby album, sold for $5. So I'll do that probably around 9 o'clock. I prefer going out after dark and doing my jogging. Less things to run into. Not counting the coyotes and the deer. Okay. And the raccoons. And the possums. Doink. All right, here's one that sold. Looks like a Japanese anime CD super collection. Pretty cool. I picked that up years ago at Slackers. It's a local record store for $7.99. I probably paid cheaper for it because they usually had the buy 5 get 1 free or buy 4 get 1 free or something. So, but I finally put it up and it finally sold. It's funny how that works. You put it up and it doesn't sell until you put it up. Sold for $33. I need you to move, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Totes. We get the cases. We pick up the trash because I'm responsible like that. It's just so I don't have to do it later. Because I'm the trash man. Why aren't you fitting in there? There you go. I'm the trash man. There's a bunch of voodoo to this reselling thing. I'm telling you. It's like voodoo. Oh, you already turned off. Voodoo. Brahms. Classical piece. Sold for $6. I did have an item that sold quickly not as soon, but overnight. I put it up last night before I called it a day. I worked a little later last night. I ate, and then I went back in and worked till about 9:30. Put this up as my last lot, and it sold. So it's good to see at least some instant sales. Next up, we got disc only, Jagged Little Thrill. Sold for $5. This has been hot this week, right? All these disc onlys. If you've been watching my videos, I got a huge stack up there I need to get pictures of. So maybe I'll get those listed this weekend also. Enrique Village? I don't know, somebody. You just call him Enrique. Ooh, need resurface. Sold for $10. We got Wire, Pink Flag CD, and that sold for $24. So that's 14 of the 29 orders. I like it when almost half the orders is like one category. It makes, when I'm not talking, it makes it go by so quick. He picked Ground Advantage. I have $5.99 for Ground Advantage. It's charging him $6.24. Oh, he's in Guam. $6.24. I was like, why am I losing money on that? Guam. That makes sense. Okay. I don't need to change it then. I'm fine with that. Pay an extra 25 cents for that. No biggie. This is 4. Well, let me get the exact weight of that then, because it might be cheaper. Which one was it? Yeah, it's 4. So let's see if it will go down a little, actually. Being Guam, it may not. Yeah, 589. Okay. That works. So I'm still on target there. Good to see. Good to see. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Print the labels. On the last 2 videos, I got a comment. Like the one, I guess, overnight. Stop being so negative. And the one before that was, you're a whiny little negative. I'm like, they didn't even watch these last 2 videos. I don't think I whined about anything on these last 2 videos. So they're just taking the thumbnail and the title because I put a negative little twist on it to get interactions. And it worked. Because I know they didn't watch the video, because I think the video, I mean, unless me singing songs trying to get them stuck in your head isn't me whining, then I could see it. But I just think that's how funny that is, and you see that across the board on social media. Like when it comes to a news article or anything, people are commenting without even clicking and reading into the news article, just basing their comment off the title, and the title is totally opposite of what the video or the content is. I mean, I do have a track record, so I guess there's that thrown in, but I got a track record of bitching about eBay. But I think I've done pretty good on the last few videos. I think this week's been pretty positive overall. At least I feel like it has been. I mean, I'm in a totally different headspace now. So I think it is one of those, they're just basing it off of the thumbnail and or the title. Stop it. You're messing me up. You're making a little bubble. Oh, take the bubble in the middle. That's fine. Be that way. Be that way. Oh, I missed one. I'm like, what? That was number 1, I guess. So I wanted you to pay attention to what I did, right? And I said it yesterday. You saw me grab this, put it here. But then I'm like, in my internal head, I'm like, crap. I pulled the 1 off the scale. So the amount I grabbed was the exact amount, but I pulled the 1 off the scale and threw it into the stack also. So technically, what I grabbed was the exact amount. I'm telling you, it happens more times than not. It's crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand. It's pretty cool, though. I'm always like, how did I do that? How did I do that? Oh, this one's going to Guam. Warcraft. on. Going to California. Rufus. Going to Milwaukee. Lemoore, California. Samuel Swingers. St. Paul, Minnesota. Pranks and Paul. So this must be a local person because somebody local, Fenton, Missouri. And which would make sense why it was at our bin. So the 74-piece thing I bought. It might even be probably a band member. It's where they usually go, or the band member will be like, I don't even have a copy of that. John Denver. Madrid, New York. Okay. Dover, Tennessee. Abigail got the Disney. Atkins, South Carolina, or Aiken. One of the two. Azim got the soundtrack, Japanese soundtrack. Head to Staten Island, New York. Brahms and Pam. Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Cuyahoga. I don't know how you pronounce it. Stupid language. Philip. Rockford, Illinois. Stupid language. Why can't we just go back to... I bet you don't know what I said there, do you? San Juan, Puerto Rico. Major surface. And Woodland Hills, California. See, I only got... Oh, I do got some cassettes. All right. Thought I only had two, but I missed a step. Okay. All right, cassettes are next. And I've sold a hat just now for $6. All right, we got Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back on cassette. Oh, that's going overseas for €14. We got Rachmaninoff cassette. Sold for $5. Somebody asked what I make on the $5 stuff, and it's about $3.70 is what, or $3.70 is what I put in my pocket on those. Because that's with shipping, or with plus shipping. Boom. Clauge Berry, or something like that. But this sold for $20. Rapping his words. We got Christian hip hop, I guess. Sold for $11. We got Clear Touch. That sold for $5. Gotta go hunt for a case again. He shoots, he scores. And then we got 9.5 Weeks. That sold for $5. Go back up. And we got that one's going to Canada. Remove. Confirm and pay. I need cassettes. I'm in the deep bowels of the storage area, grabbing supplies, stepping over Pee-wee. I'm giving you a visual of what I'm doing, since you can't see me, but you can hear me. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Any way you want it. Oh, it's the weekend. Everybody's working for the weekend. We'll give you some weekend songs today. But that's all I know from that one. So I can do the Friday night and you need a fight. My motorcycle and a switchblade knife. Handful of grease and my head feels right. But what I need to make me tired of those girls, girls, girls. Long legs and burgundy lips. Girls, girls, girls. Dancing down on the Sunset Strip. Girls, girls, girls. What other Friday weekend songs? I don't know. Betty. Rachmaninoff. Get off my finger, please. Sticky. Sticky. Thomas. Oh, Sacramento, California. New Monmouth, New Jersey. Seekonk, Massachusetts. Seekonk. Seekonk. And Bayville, New Jersey. Bum, 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 bum. Alrighty. Next is all kind of odd stuff, so we'll just do it all. Okay, that is international. And that was international. Wait a minute, where's that? Oh, I left something upstairs. Let's see if the microphone, will the microphone go all the way? I don't know, let's find out. I am walking up the stairs. I am walking up the stairs. Can you still hear? I'm still down here shipping. All right, where did I pull it? Oh, I pulled it over here. There they are. Why was I thinking I pulled the other one from upstairs. The other clothing from the Marcus collection. I do got more than one hat. Okay, that's international. That's international. Hello. You gonna stand here and watch me? Okay, we've got classical violin, I guess. Sold for $8. Headed to Campbell, California. I confused myself. Make sure that this is still working. Yeah, I see the light on. Just making sure it still was connected to the microphone if it got disconnected when I walked away. All right. Thomas. Seven. Next up, we got Are You Ready for a Cassette Live? 3 cassettes, Hootie and the Blowfish, Jimmy Buffett, and Live Throwing Copper. I remember when that album came out in 1994. I was going through some rough times in 94, and the tone of this really hit me. Just that melancholy, I guess, that low key, that like I can't listen to this album these days. I can listen to maybe one song, but that's about it, because of the overall tone of it just brings me back to a hard time in my life. Like around 94 through about maybe 96, I was just in a lost space. I was dating a girl for 2 years who was always riding me. I need to do this, I need to do that better, basically. Like I felt like I couldn't live up to what she was and who she was going to be. Because she was good in school, she was going to go off to college, and she's a county girl, and I was a city punk who didn't know what the hell was going on, right? It's always because of her pushing me, instead of looking at it as trying to motivate me, I looked at it as looking down upon me, because I couldn't figure out where I was going. I was working in a music store. I was happy doing that. I didn't want to be a manager because the managers always got fired. So she was always pushing me to take the manager's positions. I was an assistant manager, but not a store manager. She was always pushing me to be the store manager when I was given the opportunity. But that would have cut off my span, because if you can't perform, they just boot you out. Or if somebody better comes along, they'll just boot you out and put somebody else in. Or what? I've seen people fired for no reason at all, just to put somebody else, a favorite, in place. So I didn't want no part of that politics. But I always felt like I wasn't doing enough to live up to her standards. So right before she went to college, I figured it was inevitable that I was just going to be pushed aside. So I broke the situation off. And at that point was just started my downward, like, what am I doing? I can't figure this out. I'm lost, blah, blah, blah. So that album in 94 really impacted my headspace. But $5 a piece, buy two, get one, headed to Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. And that girl went on, I believe she's an attorney for like the city of St. Louis on the law side. The police officers, like an attorney for the police officers or something. So, ooh. Right. And I eventually found my way. All right, here's a piece from the fabulous Marcus collection. We got some All in Motion men's joggers. These sold for $13, headed to Woodland, California. Just put it in here, James, make it easier. Boop. Nine, Joe. Here is the item that sold. It sold before it even went on sale, so that's good. it is a hat. And it is John Cena. Sold for $20. Headed to Alberton, Montana. I don't get Montana much. I didn't even know there was any houses in Montana. I thought there was like 3 ranches and a bunch of cattle. That's a joke. 8, 6, 4, 7. Chris. Thankfully, I found my way. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. PGA Belle Reve visor. Sold for $10. Staying in the area, headed to Chesterfield, Missouri. That's where the rich people who play golf live. Well, one of the places anyway. 8. Adam. Next up. We got Hard Rock cap. Sold for $10.50. Headed to Bakersfield, California. And the last U.S. one is the St. Louis Cardinals St. Patrick's Day. Sold for $14. West Palm Beach, Florida. I think this was one of my end and relist items. And for my other store and relist into here. And I've been using AI to price the clothing, like on List Easier. They have Price Easier on the Flex. And with the clothing, I've just been going with what it says. For most part, if it's something I know is way off, then I don't. But this, I had in the other store for, like $10 or whatever. Sold for 14 with List Easier. So with List Easier's help. So if you want to try List Easier, my affiliate link is below. I'd appreciate it very much. I would very much appreciate it. Jamie. All that will be like the bonus money on top of my goals. My affiliate money, my YouTube money, my Facebook money. It's all just bonuses at the end of the year. Usually don't pay attention to how much it really is until the end of the year, and I add it all up. And woo! Today I've got my tax guy is supposed to call me. Make sure he's got all the right sign-ins, know what sites to go to still, what have you. So we can do the taxes. Let me see which ones of these internationals have to go out today. If none of them have to go out today, then I'm just going to leave them. But if one's got to go out, I might as well do them all. Yep, 3 of the 5 have to go out. Oh, sorry, 3 of the 4. The one's not pulled yet, so I'll just do them all. Jamie. I got Pee Wee at my feet now. So if you see me stretching weird, that's why. And he heard his name and looked up. I said your name. My baby boy. My kiddo. He's been very like needy lately. So I've been playing with him more, being goofy with him more, falling on the floor with him more, and changing my shirt more because it's full of hairs. You know what's weird about today's shipping out and yesterday evening's? No vinyl. After the vinyls in the morning video, I've had no vinyl since then. I usually always at least have one piece of vinyl. Okay, all right. I got the code for the cap, so let's go ahead and copy that. Copy that. Boom. Have a Ducks Unlimited cap. It's headed to the UK. Boom, 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 boom. 7 it is. That sold for $8. I gotta put this tax ID number together. I need to put periods in there or something so I don't have to do this every time. Paste. Where are you going, James? Go down. Boop. Voodoo. That is a good song, Godsmack. I haven't heard that in a long time. Voodoo. Talk about a mood song. Like I was talking about that live album. Voodoo. That's a good mood song. It's got that vibe to it. All right, let's do a couple cassettes. Fall under. Boom and boom. You're not going to let me copy that, are you? Yes, you will. Yay. Okay. We got the Rapping His Words cassette. Going up to Canada. Sold for $11. Paste. And we got the Star Wars Empire. Alrighty, and that was 14. I think it was euro, right? I think 14 euro. I think, if I remember correctly. So, Prince Elibas. And then we've got a Nintendo DS case with Mario on it. What would I call it? Just call it a case? Carrying case, and see what number it gives me. We'll just go with that one. Look good enough to me. Four. And sold for 14. And then whoops. 4. Did I not print up my code, my scan form for store 2 or store 1? I think I forgot to do that. There we go. Scan form. I'll make sure. Yep. 25. Okay. Boom. And then pirate ship. End of day. 4 labels. Print. All right, that is it for me and this video. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you guys have a good weekend. If I don't talk to you directly, but I probably will if I do some of those what's in the box videos. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.